Okay, so I finally got the mount for Mythic Plus for Season 4 in Shadowlands. I got exactly to 2,000. If you saw my uh, retrospective video of getting all the achievements and the last dungeon and all of that. So that is roughly what you will need to do to get to 2,000. They seem to have changed it from last season, which you needed 2,500 to get the mount. Um, I think the highest I did was A14, 13, 14, somewhere in there. Um, so yeah, had to do a couple, basically everything. It's about a 15, 16, somewhere around there. Um, so yeah, Raider IO is wrong, as you can see. You always got to reload for some reason. It's kind of annoying. So I'll have two rewards, and I'm going to do this for Feral. Um, I don't necessarily have like all best in slot. Um, However, this setup kind of worked, so kind of works. So I'm just gonna go with this for now. I've gotten them out. That was all I really wanted to do, so I really have no reason to try to keep gearing for restoration. Everything's almost maxed out. Um, Now that I'm 2,000, I can actually max out some of these others to 12 of 12. So yeah, but it would be nice to have some different trinkets, a weapon, um, things like that. Just to see what I got. I got some other DPS gear. It's for balance though. It doesn't have agility on it. So that's what I'm gonna be hoping for. So the first reward will be 304, which is the highest item level you can get. The other one should be like slightly below that. Yeah, 301. And what? Oh, okay. So it just has agility, which is kind of weird because that's the weapon I already have, but I'm pretty sure it. Um, oh, I see. It's different. Okay. The equip effects are different, so probably just go ahead and take that. Or shoulders. Shoulders are good. Well, one upgrade should get me to. Yeah, it's the same thing. So yeah, just go ahead and go with the weapon. So that was fairly simple. There we go. And then I can go upgrade some things. There we go. Figured wanted to do this particular season on Druid because I figured the purple gold went well with where am I going? Went well with Druid, so could have done this on any character and then just given her the mount, but that seemed like it would take away some of the fun. So this probably would have been easier. I thought at different times if I just continued
All goods and services for sale.
on my hunter. So we go ahead and upgrade that. 12, 12. The glove.
Remember,
2.
everything has value.
Upgrade you to 12, 12. Yeah, go ahead and upgrade my rings. I was pretty happy with my rings. So rings are neutral, so and the one does do damage, so and there we go. So I am 293. Why does it say? Oh, because I've got the yeah, I've got some trinkets and other things that are higher level.
You
So
struck a hard bargain. Good show.
yeah. So there you go. I'm gonna go out here so I can use my mount again. Got to be one of those people that just AFKs here so everyone can see my mount. That's what you're supposed to do in situations like this. Okay, so I tried to do some rated PvP, and I was just trying to do unranked. I was trying to join just groups that were unranked that were trying to level up, and ran into the problem that no one would take me because my item level was too low. They wanted like 280, 290, which seems a bit excessive for kind of considering where we are in the expansion and the fact that I am in full season 3 PvP gear that was upgraded to um, Challenger 2. So not definitely not maxed out, but not more than halfway there, if I remember correctly. Um, so I said, okay. I was just kind of half-heartedly trying to see kind of just where um, where PvP was at. So decided to run some mythics. Um, Considering I was trying to join just unranked groups. I wasn't trying to join like 1,500 groups or anything like that. Just unranked groups where we would have roughly all been the same, kind of the same level, so to speak, across the board, gear, all of that. Um, so I ended up doing some mythics. So I'll have 5 rewards. I'll have 3 PvP rewards, which are 275, which is the max that my gear scales to in Battlegrounds. And then I will have 2 uh, mythic plus rewards, 285, 282, and okay, both 282. So, okay. Actually seems like a fairly decent selection here. Really didn't want to change my trinkets necessarily. Really wanted this on my druid um, when I was doing Mythic Plus to try to get the mount, and it never dropped. Um, well, this goes up to 288. Um, Yeah, I'm good with my trinket. I guess what has the most versatility? Probably. I mean, that's more of an upgrade. Uh, hmm. And that's a higher upgrade than what my... it'd be a max of 275. Yeah, I think we probably got to go with the boots. Although 282, it's 288. Let's see here. Versatility case. Although this is just an even swap. So this might be better. So I was fairly happy with where everything was. So we'll go ahead and take the boots. That was kind of a disappointing and +6. So, okay. And I'm unranked, so I can't upgrade anything just yet. Which is a tad bit unfortunate. Okay, where did the boots go? Okay, finally did get my headpiece. They finally put it in the game, so I did manage to do enough games to get enough conquests. So I have the full set now. And then the elite set is the same from last season, so that's what I was trying to work on. So that'll be 18 I'll need to get that. Okay, so I wanted to see what I would be able to do on my hunter, since I haven't done anything on my hunter since season 3, and I got to 2100 during season 3. And since I was around 260 on my druid when I started doing Mythic Plus, I thought maybe I could do, a lower key. I was kind of thinking I could just jump in and do like maybe a +10, and then kind of thought, well, no, my druid was about 260. So at 260 during season 3, I was doing +12, +13. So that has been pushed back to doing like +2, 3. For some reason, on my Mistweaver in full PvP gear, I was able to do a +5. On my Hunter, I was only able to do a +3. I kept getting declined for +5, +6. I think I even applied for like a +4. So, the logic of this game. So there'll just be one reward +3. So it should be an upgrade. And sure enough, it is an upgrade. Do lose avoidance. I lose haste and avoidance, but I gain a bunch of other stuff, so yeah. Just the one. Didn't do too bad in DPS. We were kind of all over the place, because it was a +3, so I think people were gearing and things like that, so wasn't too bad. We got through it with more than enough time. By the time the final boss went down, I think we still had like 13 minutes on the timer, so. Okay, and where did the belt go? Belt went there. Also got a chest from running the 3, which is an upgrade. I was really hoping for another piece of the tier set. But that's fine. I only had 2 pieces on my
Lucky doos and roof.
druid, and so I don't need that, just the chest and the belt. Yes. And
Farewell, friend of the Grummels.
there we go. So there you go. There were the three that I did. Those are all three classes that I have done Mythic Plus on during Shadowlands. Um, Not really sure how I would compare the three because I did tanking, DPS, and healing. So I didn't really do the same thing on either one. I did heal a little bit on my monk, but monk healing and druid healing are very different. I think I had an easier time on my druid from what little I have healed during season 4. Um, Although healing was easier than tanking during season 1. So, and I think I messed myself up um, constantly swapping out gear and changing specs on my hunter. I think if I'd have settled on one thing, or at least had one set of gear, that worked out better on my druid. I did that, made a point of just trying to stick with one set of gear as best I could. So if I got an upgrade or something like that, I would swap it out, but I would try to make sure that I was using my gear that I had as optimally as I could. So I actually ran ran a lot of lower keys. It's just Valor runs just to upgrade gear, just to keep it. Um, Kind of shifted some things around. Um, a few, like I said, if I got a higher item level piece, I might have swapped it out if it had a little bit different stats, and it kind of seemed like I wasn't doing as well. I would, do some Valor runs to upgrade the old piece of gear. For the most part, though, quite a few pieces of gear that I had for my druid I've actually kept from like +2 all the way to getting the mount and reaching 2000. So that seemed to work out better. I think if I'd have done that on my hunter, um, I would have done much better. Marksmanship is a lot more straightforward, a lot simpler. I switched over to Beast Mastery just because I was kind of getting wore out with marksmanship, and I kind of messed myself up because there were things I didn't know, and when I tried to look it up, that just kind of confused me um, with what I was trying to do. And then, of course, there was gearing, and gearing used to be more straightforward, as I remember. You had, one, maybe two builds, depending on what your class and spec was, and that was it. When I was looking, doing some research on kind of just what stat, just glancing on kind of what was recommended for stats, like there were several different things depending on what you were trying to do. So, um, yeah, I think if I'd have just stayed with one thing, I would have done a lot, um, a lot better, and I probably would have ended up with a little bit higher than 266. I'm thinking. So, because I didn't upgrade hardly any of the gear, so I just kind of kept doing higher keys, thinking, oh, I'll get higher gear, and then eventually everything will balance out. And even on, I did learn that was kind of my thought with season 1 and season 3, and I did kind of learned during season 4 that even at 290, my druid got to 290 fairly about halfway through, maybe a little more than halfway through. It was still rough depending on who all else was in your group. Um, Mythic Plus is not something you can kind of out gear, so to speak. If you have a group that is all geared and they roughly know what they're doing, it can be a really easy run. If you have one or two people that maybe aren't as geared as they should be, or just aren't as familiar with the dungeon as they should be, because there were some older dungeons that they put in for this season, um, it can be really rough. Um, That being said, I didn't go overtime on all that many. It was like Karazhan, which everyone was. Um, Mechagon, which again, it was kind of the harder dungeon. Everything else was fairly simple unless you had, um, or maybe not so much simple, but more straightforward, unless you just had a group that struggled for some reason. Um, People in Mythic Plus, I've noticed, focus on really weird things. Didn't really have much of an issue with the affixes, at least, um, healing on my druid. Um, didn't really so much on my hunter either. Did as a tank. I do remember there were some weeks that were harder than others. Other than that, not too bad. But people, like I said, depending, especially again, depending on which dungeon you were in and the mechanics and things, people focus on really weird things. So it made for some really interesting, weird, bizarre kind of runs at times. So yeah, so there you go. Kind of thought it would be a nice conclusion just to kind of run all three of them again, um, just to get uh, at least some more gear. Uh, kind of put a bookmark or a bookend on doing mythics for the moment. So uh, yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching.